What do these three books have in common? Any guesses? They're three of the most commonly challenged and banned books in the United States. A study by the American Library Association found that more than 1,500 books were challenged or banned by schools, libraries, and universities in 2021. Most were written by or about LGBTQIA or Black individuals.
For kids, I think it's especially important to see that they're not alone, that no matter what their situation is, there are other people, whether they're fictional or a biography, that shares some of their emotions, some of their life's experiences.
With a title like This Book is Gay, it's no surprise that Juno Dawson's novel on gender has come under conservative fire. The nonfiction book was written to help young people explore their sexuality, but it terrified parents in one Florida school district who described the text as very scary, upsetting, and as grooming children.
Between 2020 and 2022, the number of individual titles challenged spiked more than 1,100%, from just over 200 to more than 2,500. Since 2021, school districts have banned books in 37 states.
The book bans will continue to rise unless they meet some type of impediment. As you mentioned, I think it's really important to put it in numbers as well. These are thousands of book bans. We've seen over 3,000 this year, but you also have to look at it from the point of view, last year, 60% of those 1,000 were pretty much filed by 11 people. So this is an incredibly small, but vocal and coordinated minority.
If you can't find yourself in the pages of a book, if you can't find other people who are like you, you have been erased in a very real way from the world. And to do that to a child is a crime.
What books do you see most affected? Where's the impact?
It's overwhelmingly books by and about people of color and LGBTQ individuals. So it can be stories about a transgender kind of coming of age story, stories about slavery, about Black Americans and the Black experience and racial injustice in this country.
It's a natural extension, I think, of a lot of fears and hesitations that some people in America feel, and that stuff can directly or indirectly lead to whether it's administrators or parents or other stakeholders in the schools to say, oh, if we're having this conversation over here in terms of legislation, maybe this book shouldn't be on shelves either, because for whatever reason, I believe or I've been told that this is a controversial subject.
It's not intended to titillate. It's intended to provide a window onto one person's experience, not knowing their gender identity and needing to explore that.
You know, I am incensed. I'm livid. I'm not heartbroken. Identities are not obscenities. Stories are not pornography. They're possibility.
I think it's a product in part of demographic and political and cultural change that is afoot in this country. We're becoming a much more pluralistic country without any one single dominant racial group. And there's a backlash to that. There's a sense that something is being lost, that the way people grew up, the stories that they read, the world that they saw decades ago is changing.
But I think it's really also important that especially kids, but adults as well, should both find themselves in the pages of a book at the same time while they're losing themselves in the pages of the book, because it's taken them out of their everyday life and introduced them to new people and new worlds. And how exciting is that?